Surveys and focus groups are very popular market research methods. There are advantages to both and disadvantages to both, and very often they're used in combination to collect quantitative as well as qualitative data about the same topic. With surveys, data are very easily analyzed and presented in a quantitative fashion, so there is definitely efficiency. On the other hand, focus groups are great because of all the rich qualitative data. With surveys, though, very often people are taxed and having to spend more time than they would like. They're often answering questions that the researcher has provided, and very often they're boxed in by those ideas. Focus groups, on the other hand, while they provide great data, can also be very difficult to analyze from the researcher's perspective because oftentimes that requires going through transcripts and coding responses. Sometimes groupthink can occur if somebody or multiple people dominate the conversation. Sometimes people in focus groups kind of hang back and are a little bit more humble and shy. So, again, there are definitely advantages to surveys and focus groups, but what if we could come up with a tool that would take the advantages of both while minimizing the pitfalls? That is the question. What you're about to see is a brand new research tool that kind of combines survey and focus group functionality to get the best of both worlds. Let's give you an example. Here's a topic that's probably familiar to many of us right now, and we're going to be asked an open-ended question. Please describe how you felt working from home during the pandemic. Now, pay attention to this answer I just gave. I've gotten much better at using technology for meetings, but I miss being in the office with my colleagues. Now, I'm also being asked to rate a few questions on a 5-point scale of agreement. I hope that our business can survive the economic downturn. I'm going to give that a 5. Video conferencing has saved the day. We'll say 3. And my leadership capabilities are hindered by physical distance. I'm going to say 3. Now again, remember this open-ended response I gave. So I'm going to submit. Now, watch what happens for the next person who comes to take this survey. So imagine that I had just taken the survey, like you saw, and a couple of minutes later, the next respondent is going to come take the exact same survey. Notice the first question on the 5-point scale of agreement. This should look familiar. It says, I've gotten much better at using technology for meetings, but I miss being in the office with my colleagues. So what's happening here is that in addition to being asked to give an open-ended response, survey participants are being asked to rate their levels of agreement with past survey takers. So we're basically crowdsourcing responses. So let's just go through this exercise one more time. Now I'm just going to rate these questions again. Now, let's go to our survey results. You can see here that the analyst can see all of the responses that have been given, and they can see the mean on that 5-point scale. So now what we can really understand are which comments have the most traction. So what you see, again, is that we are quantifying and making analysis very easy related to open-ended responses, kind of like a cross between a survey and a focus group. So how we set this up is we basically set up the questions we want to ask, And then we determine how many other people's responses we want each survey respondent to answer. And then we determine how many times we want each question rated. So this is going to depend, of course, on your organizational size, your expected participation rates. But again, you can see, for example, in this example, we have set for each question to be rated 3 times. But what a great way to get a high-level understanding of how open-ended feedback can be quantified. So imagine using this for asking about strengths, weaknesses, or points of differentiation around an organization or its products. Imagine using it to create brand promise statements. Really, any time that open-ended questions and qualitative feedback is desirable, but you also want an efficient way to analyze and understand which ideas have traction, this could be the answer. One more thing that's really nice to know is that you can list people's names or profanities or different things that you might be worried about a lot of people seeing. So, for example, if I wanted to have ice cream be a banned word, any respondent who would type in ice cream actually would show up in the raw data only for the researcher, but would not be presented to additional respondents to rate. So there are ways to control this so that privacy for people or certain types of ideas can be preserved.